So I am back with another Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 6 review. This is for Episode 2. If you did not see my review for Episode 1, please go check that out. So the episode starts with Moniece and April's little meetup. Now, April says that she wanted to meet up with Moniece not to talk about Drew because she says Drew is a non-factor in the situation between her and Moniece. She has a problem with Moniece because Moniece said slanderous things about her on Instagram and has been trashing her all over the internet. And April has an issue with that, which I do think April should have an issue with that. I don't think Moniece should be doing anything to anyone else that she doesn't want being done to her. So Moniece says that she doesn't care who Drew sleeps with. That's not her problem with Drew. Her problem with Drew is that he trashes her as a mom, especially to the woman that he ends up in a relationship with. He trashes her as a mother. And I think that Moniece is wrong for that because I think that if her child's father is trashing her, then she should have a problem with him, not the woman that he messes with. I think that the only thing that she should have an issue with when it comes to the woman that he's messing with is that she needs to meet the woman that's going to be around her son. And Drew needs to make sure that he's telling Moniece what's going on with her son on a regular basis and not keep her in the dark just because he doesn't respect her as a mom and he's the one who has custody of their son. Now, I do believe that Moniece has a problem with who Drew sleeps with because she still wants to be with Drew. I don't believe she's over Drew because every season it seems like she's worried about who Drew's sleeping with. And it's like, it's not your problem who he's sleeping with anymore. The only thing you should worry about is who's around your son. And if she knows April, so I don't think she should really have a problem with April being around her son. I don't think that that should be an issue. But I thought it was going to end up where they were going to end up fighting because it was getting kind of heated in the beginning. And I thought that for sure Moniece was going to snatch April up by her hair over the table like she's done before in previous seasons, but it didn't end up turning out like that. Now, Moniece says that her problem with April stemmed from the trip that April and Drew took Moniece and Drew's son Cam to. They took him on a trip to Chicago. It was like a family trip with April's 2 kids and then Drew and his son. And Moniece had a problem with that because she wasn't told about the trip that they were taking her son on. So April says that she was under the impression that Moniece knew about it. So that's Drew's fault because Drew's not communicating properly and he's causing his own issues when it comes to Moniece because if he knows how Moniece is, in order to avoid confrontation with Moniece, he should communicate with her when it comes to what he's doing with their son, especially when it comes to bringing their son around someone he's dating, even though right now him and April are saying they're not in a relationship. So Moniece says that she wants to make peace with April, and April is skeptical about making peace with Moniece because everybody knows Moniece a lot of the times has hidden agendas for why she's doing the things that she does. So April is definitely skeptical about Moniece, but she said that she will accept the peace offering for right now. So now it goes on to Apple Watts and Yo-Yo. Now, Apple was giving a little background on what's going on with her life right now. She says that her and her family members are not speaking to one another, so she's focusing on herself and her kids and trying to support her little family through her music. That's why she's trying so hard to break into this industry. Her and Yo-Yo are really good friends. Apple says that they are actually really close friends. Yo-Yo was big in the 90s and she's well respected in the industry today. Yo-Yo does a lot of things for her community, especially when it comes to helping kids break into the industry, which I think is great because I believe that once you become successful, you should absolutely give back to the community you came from because it helped make you who you are. So I think that that's great that Yo-Yo is doing that, and I believe that Apple needs somebody like Yo-Yo in her life. Apple is extremely misunderstood. And I think that she could fix those things that are wrong with her when it comes to her attitude and the way that she acts to certain situations. She needs to calm down just a little bit in order to make it. And I think that Yo-Yo will be able to help Apple get to that point. Apple says that she's been drinking too much, which is not good. Don't ever try to self-medicate, because when you drink or you do any type of drug to try to calm yourself down and kind of escape your own reality, you're making it worse on yourself, because as soon as that feeling wears off, you're going right back to having to deal with whatever's going on in your life. So don't self-medicate. Try to find some type of help, okay? So it's good that Apple's admitting to it, though, because there's a lot of people who have those problems with drinking and they kind of don't talk to anybody about it. They don't admit that they have a problem. So I think it's great that she's admitting that she does have a problem. So Yo-Yo says that she wants to mentor Apple. And Apple says, you know, she does need the guidance and she wants to achieve her goals. But again, Apple doesn't know how she'll feel about somebody kind of guiding her. But she says that she's open to Yo-Yo's help. So I think that if Apple really wants to make it in the music industry, I think that she should take the pointers that Yo-Yo gives her. So Sia, Lyrica, and Princess have a little sit down to talk about the information Jason Lee put out about A1 cheating with Summer Bunny. So Lyrica was saying how she's glad that A1's going on tour because she needs some time away from him. And she said that while he's been going on tour, she's blocked his number because she doesn't want any communication with him while he's not here. So Lyrica starts to break down in tears, and I feel so bad for her. I really do. But I am one of those people who think, girl, get this little cry out, and then you need to leave his ass, because he's going to keep doing what he's doing. If you keep staying with the cheater, he's going to keep cheating on you, because they can only do what you allow them to continue to keep doing to you. Now, she said that after she was trying to wait to have a baby because there was more things that she wanted to accomplish in her career, but that A1 wanted to start having kids right away. And so she had the baby specifically for A1. That's problem number one, because you should not have a baby when you're not ready to just because your partner's ready to. You guys need to sit down and discuss when you both are ready to, and then that's when you have the baby. Unless you're one of those people who are in a relationship and you guys don't care, whatever happens, happens. So she starts breaking down in tears, and I felt really bad for her. And Princess says that, you know, she almost went through the same thing with Ray J, but her situation with Ray J is different because Ray J is not out here right now doing the things that A1's doing. And if Ray J is doing it, he's hiding it really well, because I haven't seen anything lately about Ray J doing any type of cheating. So Lyrica says that she thought things would be great between her and A1 once they got married, renewed their vows, and had the baby. Now, I don't think they should have been renewing their vows anyway like that. It's like, that was too soon to be doing that anyway. Renewing your vows is like, oh, like a 10-year thing. Like, you've been married for 10 years, so then you go renew your vows. Or you've been married for 20 years, so you go and renew it. So I thought the whole renewing the vows thing was stupid anyway. So then Lyrica's friend Sia, I like her because she's one of those friends who will tell you the real. She's not about to really coddle you. She's going to tell you the real. So she tells Lyrica that she should move to Atlanta and get away from A1, because when she's not around A1, she does a lot better in her life. And I'm like, you do need a friend who's going to tell you the truth and not really baby you too much. You know, you want a friend to give you sympathy, but you also want them to tell you the truth. So I like Sia. I think that she brings something to the friendship that Lyrica needs. So Lyrica says that she lost herself being with A1 and that she always spends her time trying to prove herself to him. And it goes unnoticed because A1 comes off as the type who he only cares about his success and what he's doing. He doesn't really care about Lyrica. He shows that he doesn't really care about Lyrica. Like, come on now. He shows it, and I know it's reality TV, so they probably exaggerate things, but still, it doesn't matter. So she wants A1 to tell her the truth about what went on with Summer Bunny, and he ain't gonna tell the full truth. He's not going to, which he might as well now, because the damage is already done. The video of him talking to the girl and the way that the girl was talking to him on the FaceTime video shows that he messed with the girl before. So there's no need to lie when the proof is already there. Everybody already knows about it, and that makes it even worse on Lyrica because she can't even be down about it in private. She has to deal with it in person with everybody in the world seeing what's going on in her life. So her friends end up telling her that she needs to go make a pop-up on A1 while he's out on tour and confront him. And I don't know if that's the best idea, but I want to see it happen though. Oh yeah, and another thing too that I thought was funny in that scene was that Lyrica said that Summer Bunny is the perfect name for the girl because she hops from man to man to try to she hops from man to man to try to make it in the business. And I thought that was funny. She didn't say from man to man, but I can't say what she really said, but it was funny. Now, April says that she's trying to focus on her music because when she was with Omarion, he was the one who was focusing on his music and she had to put her music career to the side. So Moniece ended up inviting April to her recording session in the studio, and Moniece is trying to be in cahoots with April. And I know that it's an underlying reason for why Moniece is trying to befriend April the way that she is. I feel like she wants to get more information on what's going on between her and Drew, things that Drew may be saying about her, and things that are going on with the way that Drew is parenting their son. So I think that she's definitely using April because, Moniece is a little diabolical. Something's always going on in that little head of hers. Which, she's going to do what she's going to do. You can't even hate Moniece for it. You know what I'm saying? You can't even hate Moniece for it. If April's dumb enough to fall for it, then that's on her. So Moniece goes and says that she's put together a little tour and that she wants April to go on tour with her. Now, April is completely skeptical about going on tour with Moniece. She thinks it's weird because the two of them have been into it on and off, and she doesn't feel comfortable going on tour with Moniece because the things Moniece was saying about her all over the internet. But Moniece says, who cares about it? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Look at our two baby daddies. Look at Omarion and Drew. They are not really on good terms with one another, but they're on tour together. They're making music together. And I'm like, Moniece, girl, that's a different story. They're making a lot of money off of this B2K tour. You know how big B2K was? Everybody loved them, and their tour has been very, very successful. They're doing it for the fans and for the money that they're going to make off of it. You and April doing a tour together ain't going to make no damn money. But, April says that she'll think about it, but that she doesn't know what Drew's going to think about it. And Moniece is like, who cares what Drew thinks? Who cares what he says? And it's just like, girl, you are doing this for your own benefit. But I can't even hate her for it. If April's dumb enough, like I said, to fall for Moniece's little tricks, then so be it. So Yo-Yo is expanding her school of hip-hop, so she brought Apple along with her to show her where she's expanding the school of hip-hop to, and also tells her about how she's adding academics to the school of hip-hop as well, which I think is great. To add academics to it, I think Yo-Yo's doing great things. So as this is happening, Mr. Ray shows up with Summer Bunny and introduced Summer Bunny to Yo-Yo. So Yo-Yo's shaking hands with her or whatever, and Apple peeps her and says, isn't that the girl who was messing around with A1? Because she recognized her from the video that Jason Lee put out on Hollywood Unlocked. So Apple is friends with Lyrica. So of course Apple, knowing who Apple is not about to let this girl just chill here and she's not going to say anything to her. So Apple calls out Summer Bunny, and Summer Bunny gets pissed off and gets immediately defensive. It was like, you should get to know me first. Get to know me first. Don't judge me off of what the blogs say about me. Get to know me first. And Apple don't feel like she needs to get to know her at all because she was messing with her friend's man who's married, and then they start getting ready to fight, so everybody's breaking up Apple and Summer Bunny. Now, I think that Summer Bunny was trying to act tough because she had all types of security holding her back. Because if Apple was let go by security, Apple would have destroyed Summer Bunny. I'm sorry, but she would have. Seeing how Apple is, Apple would have destroyed that girl. So they had to take Apple out the building. They had to escort Apple out of the building because they knew it would escalate even more if they would have kept her inside there. Summer Bunny probably would have ended up getting her ass beat. So Summer Bunny starts tearing up and fake crying because I didn't see no tears on her face. Not in this scene, I didn't see no tears coming down her face. So I think she was just being fake, trying to get sympathy by crying about it because she has a problem with how she's being represented as this woman who runs around sleeping with married men all the time. It's like, but you put that image out for yourself because you knew these men were married and you started messing with them anyway. And you wanted to be famous, so you did it and you were glad about it at the time. So now all of a sudden you're crying about it and everybody's supposed to feel bad for you. Absolutely not. So Yo-Yo ends up saying that if Apple wants to be successful, Apple's going to have to change the way she is, and she's going to need to calm down a little. And I'm sorry to say that I absolutely agree with Yo-Yo. Apple does not have the luxury of doing what Cardi B does, where Cardi B can be on Love and Hip Hop, fighting, taking shoes off, throwing them, messing with other girls' boyfriends, and acting as ratchet as she wants to act. Apple doesn't have that luxury to be able to do that. I don't like that it's that way, but that's the way it is, because Cardi B gets excuses made for her when she acts that way. But Apple's not going to get that. So Apple's going to have to change the way she acts if she wants to be successful in the business. And that's just, that's what it is. It shouldn't be that way, but that's the way that it is. And if she wants to make it, unfortunately, she's going to have to stop acting the way she acts and change that up a bit. So K Michelle's doing a small little intimate performance where she's putting the finishing touches on her 5th R&B album so that she can move on to making a country album. She announces during the performance that her friend is her surrogate and that she's happy that her friend decided to do that for her, and that she can't wait to give her friend the money so that her friend can go on to take care of her family with the money that she's giving her to be her surrogate. So at this performance, Moniece ends up introducing April to Brittany B because K Michelle and Brittany B are friends, so Brittany B was at K Michelle's performance. Now, I believe that Moniece was introducing April to Brittany because she wanted Brittany to help April make music. But April kind of burned that bridge, because when Brittany told April that she's hard on her artists because she wants them to do well and that she doesn't play around when it comes to the music, April ends up getting rude with her and kind of giving her attitude and telling her that everyone's opinion doesn't matter. And it's just like, April, why are you acting like that? Like, I don't know why April's acting like a stuck-up bitch this season, but she really is. So K Michelle says that Moniece and April look like Dumb and Dumber, trying to be all cool with each other, knowing the shit that just happened between them publicly all over the internet. So K Michelle can't bite her tongue. So K Michelle tells the two of them that it ain't gonna work with them doing a tour together because they're both crazy and they're gonna end up killing each other. So Moniece seems like she's a little annoyed at K because K Michelle didn't bite her tongue and vocalized that she didn't think that it was gonna work between them two working together. So K Michelle ended up calling out April, saying, "Didn't her and Drew kiss?" And April gets pissed and gets defensive and says that it's not true. You got to watch where you get your information from, because April's always friggin' defensive when it comes to the situation between her and Drew, but they claim that nothing's been going on between the two of them. So I'm dying because K Michelle said that April's bouncing from B2K member to B2K member because she has kids and was messing with Omarion, and now she's messing with Drew. I thought that shit was funny because K Michelle, even though she's a hothead sometimes, K Michelle speaks her mind, and you have to respect her for it. You really do. Blac Chyna meets up with Brittany B in the studio to start her recording session. And Blac Chyna is extremely nervous, okay, because I think that she wants to succeed. I do see that Blac Chyna is trying to better herself. And we can all see from her relationship with her mom and how toxic her mother is why Blac Chyna is the way that she is. But Blac Chyna, during this little session that she was doing with Brittany B, talked to Brittany about how she's trying to mend things with her mom and how she's going to use her music as therapy. Now, Brittany B also has a strained relationship with her mother because her mom, I guess she said, was on drugs and would steal from her to be able to buy drugs and put her out on the street. So they hadn't spoken in 6 years. So that was a really deep conversation and a deep part of this episode, and I think that it was an important part of the episode because there are plenty of people who have toxic parents and it affects them in their life. So I think that that was an important scene to put on there. I hope that Blac Chyna gets her relationship fixed with her mom. If not, her mom is so toxic she's gonna have to cut her out of her life completely. Same for Brittany B. Now, Brittany did also throw some shade at April and said that she takes people like Black China more seriously than she does April. And that's true, because April's being a cocky bitch. Okay, Black China seems more genuine about it, even though I'm skeptical about Black China's music. K. Michelle and her surrogate meet with the doctor to talk about getting the process started. Now, he did a checkup on the surrogate's uterus and everything was fine. Her surrogate is good to go. But what he said was the embryos need to be high quality on a level from 1 to 10, 10 being the best. Now, her embryos that they ended up getting from K. Michelle were a level 3. So he was telling her that he needs better quality eggs from her so that she would have to think about going through IVF again. IVF is very hard on a woman's body, and K. Michelle really doesn't want to do it again. But if she wants to have these babies and have the surrogacy be successful, she's going to have to go through the IVF again. So she's going to have to think about how important this is to have these 2 children. And I think she'll end up going through with it, though, because K. Michelle really does want these 2 twin daughters. Now, April's in her house, okay, in the kitchen, making breakfast in some sexy little silky pajamas, and Drew shows up because Drew spent the night at her house, and he's sitting over there saying that he spent the night at her house before and it doesn't matter where he sleeps at, men and women can be friends. But the way that they're friends is obviously proof that it's more than friends. They're sleeping over her house. He was even talking about her butt and how she looked in the pajama set that she was wearing, and she was just laughing about it and all that. And it's just like, girl, you know you look bad, right, though, because that's the bandmate of your ex-boyfriend and the father of your kids. That looks really bad. So Drew ends up talking about the drama that's going on the B2K tour with Raz B and all this drama that's going on with it. Even though the tour has been successful, there was still a lot of personal drama going on. Omarion and Drew haven't talked. And so when Drew mentioned Omarion, April said that Omarion put Drew in the court paper saying that Drew and April have been having an affair. And so that makes me think maybe that's the reason why Omarion left April. Maybe he found out something, or maybe he was uncomfortable with the friendship between her and Drew. But then again, that's just speculation. We don't really know what happens, and Omarion hasn't really spoken out about it. So we won't really hear his side until he starts talking. So April ends up telling Drew that they should move in together as friends. And it's just like, you're weird as fuck. Like, okay, like, just say you're in a relationship with one another. Stop playing these little games. You don't want people to question you guys, but you guys are saying stuff like moving in together. It's like, come on, y'all are smashing each other. Let's be real about it. Their little thing is aggravating the hell out of me. Because it's like, if you're sleeping together, just say it. Jesus Christ. So April ends up telling Drew that things went well when she met up with Moniece, and that Moniece invited her to go on the tour. And Drew was laughing about it because he thought the whole thing was funny. He even said that the name of the tour would be Baby Mamas of the Millennial. That shit was funny. I'm sorry. That was funny. But, I mean, everybody seems to be skeptical about her and Moniece going on tour, so we'll see what ends up happening. So in the last scene, Mr. Ray ends up throwing a party to celebrate one of his accomplishments, and he has Summer Bunny there. Now, he invited people he knows don't like Summer Bunny, or that he knows is going to recognize her from the information Jason Lee put out. So he was trying to do a little bit of drama starting, but wipe his hands of it, which is fine, whatever. So Summer Bunny starts crying about the blog saying things about her and people calling her a homewrecker, but it's like, you are a homewrecker, though. Like, it is the guy's job to not be messing with you anyway, because he knows he's married. He's the one who has taken vows to the woman that he's married to. You didn't, but you still shouldn't be out here messing with married men and then crying about people calling you a homewrecker when that's how you presented yourself as. So I have no sympathy for Summer Bunny at all. I think everything she's doing is just for clout. She wants to be the next Amber Rose or Black China, although Black China and Amber Rose were messing with men who were single, not married, okay? So she's dumb. Anyways, Yo-Yo tells Summer Bunny that she doesn't have to give up she doesn't have to have sex with men to be famous, that if you have the talent, you don't need to sleep your way to the top. which is true. So obviously Summer Bunny must not got no talent because she feels like she has to sleep with everybody to get there. Ray J and Princess end up showing up, and Ray J ends up noticing who Summer Bunny was before Princess did. So he calls her and was like, oh, you're the one who was messing with A1, right? And Princess was like shook because she just shook hands with the girl because she didn't recognize who the girl was. So then you see Lyrica and Apple coming up through the doors, and the episode cuts there. Now you can see Summer Bunny looking a little shook in the corner over there, but in the scenes for the next episode, I saw that Summer Bunny was kind of yelling and screaming at Lyrica, and it's like, why do you have a problem with Lyrica? You're the one who's messing with her husband. So I'm ready to see what happens in the next episode. That concluded episode 2. Let me know what you thought of last night's episode down in the comment section, and don't forget to like this video.